some money there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you do?
Yeah, you know what? It's one of those things that I never really think about. Is what do you do if one person can't work? I've never, just oddly enough, I've just not considered that. I always look at the option of I can't work because of lack of work. You know, layoff. I've been through that, things like that. But I've never even considered the option of I'm down for the count because one of us are ill or something like that. I've just never considered that. And unfortunately, I haven't had an opportunity to save a big, have a big cushion.
Yeah.
It almost seems like, and I'm sure a lot of families are like this, everything that comes in is going right back out. We joke all the time, I get paid on Friday. Well, that check is spoken for.
Yeah.
That's
every Friday when you get paid, that check is spoken for.
And my husband and I we kind of alternate pay periods, but it's not a time period where it's like, oh, you got a lot left over. And sometimes if there is extra, you're like, well, what? Somebody didn't get paid. I didn't put a payment arrangement on something and I forgot to pay.
What am I missing?
Yeah, wake up in the middle of the night like, lights on, table on, like what?
It's mighty dark in here.
Right,
it's quiet
because to have a lot of extras just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And we find a way to kind of do the things you want to do and do family vacations and things like that, but it's by the the skin of our teeth. Just to make sure the kids have experiences and things like that. And of course, it always goes back to the village, the moms, the mom-in-laws, the aunties, things like that can help out with that stuff. But just our basic stuff, I need some advice on how to make it work.
Yeah, because we're just trying to do the basic stuff. You go to Walmart, it's nothing to spend $150, $200.
I spent $107 in Kroger this morning at 8 a.m. And that wasn't even a full shop.
Exactly. Mm-mm. And that's just getting the basics that you need. You're not asking for anything elaborate or, really extreme. You're just trying to do the basics.
Yeah.
So I just can't even imagine being one of the federal workers over this last month who had to work and not get paid, and the insensitivities that people were just throwing out there, just spewing out of their mouths. Like the one man who said, I hope the government stays shut down as long as, they need it to till they get this border wall funding. My kid was killed or attacked by an illegal immigrant or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm so sorry that it happened to your child.
Yeah.
So sorry. I never want to hear about a parent having to bury their child.
Absolutely not.
But at the same time, these parents that are still working, trying to take care of their babies, they need their money.
Yeah, there are children that are going unfed because of just sheer ego.
Or the man last week who said they can just go get a loan. I don't even understand why they going to food banks. They can just go get a loan. Well, how you going to tell somebody to go get a loan when they don't even know when their next check is going to come in?
They don't have income. They don't have verifiable income.
Is there a bank or something that's going to say, well, even though we know you work for the federal government, we'll give you this money. We don't know when you're going to pay it back because we don't know when they're going to reopen.
Yeah.
But we're here. We're going to give you this money. By the way, we're going to put this interest on there and you got to pay that back too.
Well, to my knowledge, that's not how lending works. So it just, So, the one thing that the top thing that people always tell you to do is to create a budget. That's the number one thing. When you get paid or when you can forecast what you're making, set a budget. Outline everything that is a necessity. Your housing, your insurance. Insurance is meaning health and life, things like that. Child care. Your vehicles, maintenance on those vehicles, gas, things of that nature. Sometimes you have clothing requirements. Sometimes people have uniforms or whatever that may be. But to budget your necessities. And then from there, after that, contribute to your savings. Now, there's the problem. How do you contribute to your savings when everything is spoken for? There's always the thing of, pay yourself first. That's the thing in terms of, but is it picking up an extra job? Is it, spending less on, I don't know, what you spend less on? Or, shopping around for a different childcare that may be cheaper, but maybe not as convenient, something like that.
Or if their program isn't as good.
Yeah, what's the takeaway? And I think that's one of the major questions is what do you sacrifice when you have a family?
And I think, a lot of us struggle with that because we're always looking for the best for our kids or whatever. Yeah, we could all probably find a daycare or child care facility that costs less than what we're paying now.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the trade-off of that? How many kids are in the class?
Yeah.
What kind of foods are they giving the kids?
Mm-hmm.
What type of activities? Because there's a difference between a babysitter in a child care facility and a learning environment.
Yeah, educational.
Yeah, like there's a big difference there because I can drop them off someplace and they can sit there and color and play all day long.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that they are learning diddly squat about anything.
Right.
You know, so then you try and get them in as an early learning facility or whatever,
mm-hmm.
because as soon as they hit 4,
yeah,
we expect them to read A through M of the encyclopedias or the dictionaries,
mm-hmm.
and then by the time they're coming out of kindergarten, we expect them to know N through Z.
Yeah. So I know when I was laid off October of 2017, quite instantly. And, you know, the writing had been on the wall for a while, but we weren't expecting it to happen like that. So I walked into the office one day, and by midday, I was walking out with my belongings. And so instantly, you begin to panic. What am I going to do? And I remember that same day, I didn't even go home. I went straight to the unemployment office and filed. Unfortunately, in the state of Georgia, the max that they will pay you is $330 a week.
And that's taxable.
And so to a mom of 2, you know, a wife, a contributor to our household, you know, and I'm not like a secondary contributor. We really budget to the max, you know what I mean? And we are truly partners. And instantly there was this panic of what are we going to do? And so then there was the option of, okay, you got a little bit of severance, which was not much. And if you can start collecting unemployment, maybe you can take a look at doing something you want to do instead of going back into corporate America for a while. And after about 6 weeks of living that dream, I gotta go back to work. Like, this ain't working because I'm about to have to ask my mom to pay our rent for the month of December so we can have other things as well. So we can pay our other bills.
That came quick. You said October.
Hell yeah. I'm sorry. It came quick because
I know the feeling.
because you think about it. By the time I got laid off on October 4th, well, we'd already paid our rent for the month of October, so that's out the way.
Severance covered November.
Some of the car notes, like our insurance and things like that. And then before you knew it, we were skating up on. And then during that time period, our oldest had a birthday party. You know, I'd had a birthday, which is, you know, irrelevant, but you know, trying to just stay normal or whatever like that. We had gone through the Thanksgiving holiday, traveled and all that kind of stuff, trying to stay normal. And before you knew it, I'm like, oh no,
we out.
Yeah, this is not gonna work. So I was out of work, I think exactly 2 months, and those 2 months hurt us in 2018.
Believe me, I get it. Like, you know, like I told you this last week. You know, my job lost a major contract last week, equivalent to plus my salary. Right. So we immediately had to lay off one person. So then I'm on the chopping block next. And it was kind of like, well, we'll just kind of wait and see. I think I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna make it through February. At the end of February, we'll revisit for March. But in the meantime, you know, it's no more spending like that.
You gotta be lean
and everything. But you know, my mom immediately goes to, well, I'll cover, you know, your credit card for you this month. And I'm like, hold on. I might not, you know, need it just yet.
Right.
Just hold on. But I know everybody says, oh, you need these 3-6 months worth of savings. But how do you get it?
Yeah, and I'm not, you know, I don't consider us to be lavish spenders. Now, sometimes we you know, you eat out one too many times a week or something like that, which you can cut out.
And lavish for us is we're gonna get some extra snacks when we go to Costco.
Yeah, I'm not talking like, oh, we vacationing unnecessarily, or, you know, I'm buying, you know, mink coats and I'm buying Fendi purses or nothing like that.
None of that.
No, I'm talking splurging because I went to Target and I got 2 extra outfits for my kids or something like that. Yes. So we're not doing anything like that. But I
got my hair done.
I got my hair.
I got my hair washed.
I got my hair washed. You know what? It's funny you say. That's another thing, because I will sacrifice myself because I'll get the girl's hair done or whatever like that. Well, the biggest one, because the little one won't even sit for it. But, you know, I make sure that she stays maintained. So it cuts down on our morning routine because there's one less head I got to comb.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll take her before I take myself. I'll just be like, oh, I got it. I put a wig on. I give me a protective hairstyle. I put on a hair wrap for 2 days. I'm telecommuting. Nobody gonna see my head. You know, that kind of stuff. To save it. But it's just and just to be completely transparent. After I was laid off, and we actually got over the hump. I got another job. To catch up, it took us until maybe almost April to catch up what we had missed just from those 60 days, and it was like a nightmare. Like the first part of 18 was difficult to even see how we were gonna make it through the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. And you got to pay your rent.
And they keep wanting that money.
Nobody wants to get no late fee, and nobody damn sure don't want no notice on the door.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to pay your car notes because you can't have them come knocking on your door at 4 a.m. because they're trying to get in your garage. Things like that. So it's just some things you got to do. So listeners, communicate with us a little bit. Tell us some of your things. I know when I was unemployed, I did take the youngest out of childcare mm-hmm. for that time period because, like you said, I was home. If I had errands to run, she'd go with me. And at that time, she was about 18 months. Mm-hmm. Is that about right? Yeah.
Oh, that's prime. You can go with me.
Yeah, she's fine. Yeah, she was fine. She would sit in the buggy. She didn't care about walking the store and all that kind of stuff. Now is a different story. But, I just took her out because I could. That was quite a bit that we saved. And as a matter of fact, we kept her out until the new year because it was kind of coming up on holiday. My husband's schedule is pretty flexible, so we could manage it until everybody went back to school in January. And then remember last year this time, we had all that ice and stuff. Mm-hmm. So like the whole month of January, I don't think we had a full week of childcare that was open.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so, we kind of saved on that because we were able to prorate some of those days. But it takes quite a bit to just maintain. And, the goal is to begin to save. My mom always says, I don't care if it's $5, I don't care if it's $10. Well, shoot, sometimes that $5 is a 4 for $4 at Wendy's. Even though we're not eating that now. We don't eat that.
I'm not going to say a 4 for $4, but it might be, for me, the difference in a can of formula or a pack of diapers.
Absolutely. And think about, I got one that's potty training, that she's halfway diapers, halfway pull-ups.
So you need both.
I need both. Plus, still buying all the wipes and all that kind of stuff. She got to get out of this. We got to nip this in the bud. We got to finish this. But so I'm buying all that kind of stuff as well as one like chocolate milk, one drink almond milk, one drink no milk. I don't know who the third one is, but no. I mean, it's just. You got all this kind of stuff and you're just trying to keep up, but somehow it gets done.
You're just trying to keep... I get it. Believe me, I totally get it because I went to the grocery store on Friday and got nothing that I was supposed to get.
Right.
I got food, but it wasn't the stuff that I was like, okay, the necessities that I could remember. Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, shoot. So then Saturday... Had to go back to get the rest of the necessities that I needed and everything. And then today, lo and behold, Snowmageddon's coming tomorrow.
She go.
We got to get some more stuff because it's like, well, you don't have enough. You don't have this. You don't have that. What about this? You don't know how long you're going to be here for that. Well, they already started eating those snacks. So I might need to get some more of these because you don't know. I mean, it's just, it never ends.
Well, this off the subject. Do your kids judge you about the stuff you bring home from the grocery store? So my kids will sit in the kitchen area, in the eating kitchen area, and watch me, unload the bags, and they judging me like, well, that ain't what I asked you to get. I don't eat that. You ain't get no more cheeses? You ain't get no...
No, my favorite...
You ain't get no extra sharp cheese? That's just sharp?
My favorite is the other day, you only got chocolate donuts? You didn't get no regular donuts? What, you think if you get the regular donuts, you going to eat them? That's how you going to keep yourself thin?
What?
So...
I was told the other day... Well, this is completely off the subject. Speaking of thin... So there's a commercial that runs here in town about like laser sculpting or something like that. Something like that.
Girl, sign me up.
Well, my baby, she's not even 3 yet, told me that's where you go for no stomach. Get out. You got to leave. You got to leave tonight. You got to pack your small bag and you got to go.
Her friend that lives in my house.
Oh my God.
saw the Slim Fast commercial on TV and said, "Mommy, you don't want to try some of those?"